cup of coffee with me.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back again to A Cup with Chris. Today is the 27th day, and once again, it is the final countdown. It's the final countdown! Only 48 hours left as of the time I'm recording this, possibly even 47 hours left in our countdown. It's the final countdown! To the end of our Kickstarter campaign. We've already hit our goal, which is awesome. But again, we can't stress enough that every dime, every penny, every dollar, every $50, every $25, every $5,000 that comes in helps us make Internet Famous a better show, a more entertaining show, a funnier show, and moreover, a better looking show for you to watch. So we're going to keep the pledge going, our pledge drive here going. I've got a few thank yous to send out today, too. As I've said before, it's been awesome. Every day I expect it to finally just dry up, no more donations. Everyone's done with us. Had enough begging, had enough listening to me here in my little box on your computer screen. But the donations keep running in, which is awesome. So let me send out big thanks to the two donors who have helped us out, tossed us some bucks since last time. Aaron O'Neill, thank you so much for your donation. It really helps. And Amanda Rubio, thank you so much. Aaron, Amanda, you two are awesome people, fantastic human beings. We can't thank you enough. So thanks for helping Internet Famous, which if you haven't yet, you've been watching these videos this whole time, I don't know what you've been doing afterwards. But take your little mouse, cruise it on down below this box here, click on that link right down there that says Internet Famous. Right down there. Do it. Check it out. Yeah. Today's show, since there's 48 hours left, it's the final countdown! I'm going to dedicate today's show to something very near and dear to my heart. The movie 48 Hours. And moreover, my favorite, one of my two, I guess, absolute favorite genres of film, which was made from mostly through the 80s, into the 90s some, and we'll get there, but mostly through the 80s, buddy cop movies involving Eddie Murphy. Okay? 48 Hours and another 48 Hours. Two great examples of buddy cop movies. They're hilarious, they're action-packed, and involving Eddie Murphy and some white guy. In those, it was Nick Nolte, so it wasn't just some white guy. It was a lunatic white guy. One of our two favorite celebrity lunatic white guys. But yeah, my absolute favorite genre of movie. I can't recommend them highly enough. In this last 48 hours, while we're doing our Kickstarter campaign, perhaps you, like I'm going to do, can sit down and rewatch 48 Hours and another 48 Hours. And I'll go through the list here of some of my all-time favorite movies within this genre and our little tribute to it. There's also, of course, Eddie Murphy buddy cop movies from the 80s, which are comedies. There's Beverly Hills Cop, number 1 and 2. Instead of Nick Nolte, he's paired with a less crazy white guy, Judge Reinhold. Judge. Pretty great movies. Quick side note, they actually made 3 of these movies, and there was talk of a 4th, although that hasn't happened yet. I think there was actually also talk of a television series, although 1 and 2 are really the ones to watch. Let's see what else I've got on my list here. Metro. A little bit later, but another great Eddie Murphy buddy cop movie. In that one, he's a hostage negotiator. A wacky hostage negotiator who walks in when no one else will go, throws his gun down, and walks in to get the hostages out of there. Great movie. Great movie. Also in the genre, and people don't often think about this, but in the genre of buddy cop movies that are comedies made kind of in the 80s with Eddie Murphy in them, doesn't always have to include Eddie Murphy. For example, Running Scared with Billy Crystal and Gregory Hines. Great buddy cop movie in that genre, made in the 80s. Doesn't have Eddie Murphy, but still is in the genre of Eddie Murphy buddy cop movies. Let's see what else. And this was made a little bit later. It was made in 96 or 97, I think. Um, what's it called? Bulletproof. The one where Adam Sandler's a carjacker and Damian Wayans is the cop who has to pair up with him to bring in someone. I just remember there's a fight scene between the two in a little cottage, out in the woods. It's like a hotel, but you rent little bungalows out on the side of the highway in the middle of nowhere. Another side note, I'll admit here now, I've never actually seen Bulletproof in its entirety, but this is one of those great, you catch it about halfway through on TNT or the USA Network movies, and it's kind of funny, and you're not doing anything that Saturday afternoon, it's kind of raining outside, so you watch the rest of it, and it's got some moments. I laugh, I cry. Bit of tear jerking. I haven't even seen the whole thing. So that's a pretty good recommendation, I guess. That's another great one. Made in '96 with Adam Sandler and Adam Sandler and Damon Wayans. I never knew how to say their last name, but still counts as a Eddie Murphy buddy cop movie from the '80s. More recently, there was also Cop Out. Tracy Morgan, Bruce Willis, kind of a revival of the genre of Eddie Murphy buddy cop movies from the 80s. I think you could count most of the Lethal Weapons, those movies. Mel Gibson, Danny Glover. Yeah. And then Point Break, of course. It doesn't have your Eddie Murphy character in it, although perhaps you could say that he's not as slick. They kind of split the Eddie Murphy character between the two. And Gary Busey perhaps has the wackiness of Eddie Murphy in that movie, where old What's-His-Nuts, why can't I think of his name? Terrible actor. Neo from The Matrix. Keanu Reeves in Point Break, that's whose name I couldn't think of. Keanu Reeves, masterful in this movie. One of the worst actors of all time, but still masterful in this movie. Well, you can look him up. I'm sure you know his name. His name's not coming to me right now. He has perhaps the slickness of the Eddie Murphy character in that movie. But yes, once again, today's show goes out to those two people we thanked, Aaron O'Neill, Amanda Rubio, thank you. And it also goes out to my favorite genre of movies, Eddie Murphy buddy cop movies from the 80s. 48 hours to donate left. It is the final countdown. It's the final countdown. Get on in there. Get your donation in. Thank you, and I'll see you tomorrow on A Cup with Chris.